What is going on, guys? My name is Christian Hannah, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Bad Guys, which stars Sam Rockwell, Mark Maron, Awkwafina, Anthony Ramos, and Craig Robinson, and Zazie Beetz, a bunch of other people as well. And basically, this is based on a children's book or children's book series. I don't know. I've never read the book. And it's about this group of bad guys. I mean, that's what the movie's called. I mean, what were you expecting? And they just do a bunch of bad shit, you know, they steal things and they get money off of it, you know, the usual bad guy thing. But apparently Mr. Wolf, played by Sam Rockwell, he decides, what if we became good guys instead of bad guys? See, because that's the thing, it's the bad guys, but they want to turn good. Alright. Yeah, I should probably also mention who the characters are, really. Sam Rockwell plays Mr. Wolf, Mark Maron plays Mr. Snake, Awkwafina plays Miss Tarantula, Anthony Ramos plays Mr. Piranha, and Craig Robinson plays Mr. Shark. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I was actually I was really looking forward to this movie, because I thought, you know, well, for one, the trailers I thought were really strong. I think that really was what it was. Like, the trailers were really strong, and I think what grabbed me was that I really liked the art style. Like, I love that animated movies nowadays are becoming more experimental with the kinds of animation that they can have. We saw this with Spider-Verse. We saw this with Klaus. Also, I completely forgot the Mitchells vs. the Machines. That was another one that comes to mind. And so, like I said, I was looking really forward to The Bad Guys because this looked like a really funny, really stylistic kind of movie. And it is pretty funny, and the art style is definitely the best thing I could say about this movie. And while I do think The Bad Guys is a good movie, I don't think it's a great movie. Like, it's a shame. Like, I mean, like I said, it's good. I recommend it. There you go. Let me start with some of the positives first. One, like I said, the animation, the art direction, all of it is just stellar. Like, I like seeing animated movies take more risks like this, because let's face it, for a while, we were kind of, you know, stuck in this realm of animated movies that kind of felt the same in terms of style. And that's not really any knock towards the animators. It's really just more like a studio thing, really. It's more of a criticism of the studios where it's like, you can't do anything else other than this. And it's like, come on, like, I want to see, you know, different styles. The cast is really good, although I gotta say, the standout for me was Anthony Ramos as Mr. Piranha. I swear to God, I didn't even recognize that was him. Like, at some point through the movie, I was like, oh yeah, Anthony Ramos is in this movie. And I sort of tried thinking in my head, okay, who could he possibly be? I know what Craig Robinson sounds like, so it couldn't be, you know, Mr. Shark. Obviously, he's not Miss Tarantula. Mark Maron, I figured Anthony Ramos wasn't playing Mr. Snake because that didn't sound anything. I genuinely do not think Anthony Ramos could make his voice sound like that. And then obviously, I already knew Sam Rockwell was Mr. Wolf. So, I mean, I guess it kind of boiled down everything. I was like, oh yeah, he's playing Mr. Piranha. And there are times where I'm like, okay, yeah, where I'm like, yeah, I can tell that's Anthony Ramos, but I mean, that's not in a bad way at all. I mean, it's just his voice. I mean, yeah. But they were legitimate. But like I said, the fact that it took me a while to recognize that Anthony Ramos was playing Mr. Piranha was really, really impressive. Because like I said, at first, like, that would not have registered to me as Anthony Ramos, especially since I literally came off of watching him in The Heights, the lead of that film, and I was like, okay, he's Mr. Piranha. But it really does work. And like I said, the film is pretty funny. Like there's some good chuckles in there. The facial expressions and the animation definitely helps with that. Like, definitely helps sell the jokes a lot more. But I feel like what keeps The Bad Guys from being a great movie instead of just a good movie that it is that I honestly feel like, well, for one, I think it wasn't as funny as it probably could have been. Like, it's not like, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or Mitchell's vs. the Machines, or Incredibles 2, or even Encanto, or movies like that where it's like, man, this is really, really selling. Like, this is hilarious. It's not quite that level. I mean, for example, there are a few fart jokes. I'm just like, all right. And, weirdly enough, the movie is also kind of predictable. Like, there's a character in this movie who turns out to be the bad guy of the movie. I mean, granted, the movie's called The Bad Guys, but, there's a character, there's a plot twist villain in this, and you know me, plot twist villains. But they can be done well. Like, plot twist villains can be done well. Like, I thought the plot twist villain in Incredibles 2 was done pretty well. This isn't in the animation world, but I thought the plot twist villain in Get Out was really strong. So it can work, but however, I think this time it didn't, because I could literally see this coming a mile away. There's this one character who pops up, and I'm like, alright, this one's gonna, turn out to be a villain, aren't they? Yep, and it turns out they were. And it's not, and at first I thought it was going in a funny direction, because the character started acting kind of crazy, and I was like, okay, so maybe the whole point of this character, wasn't that, oh look, they were a bad guy the whole time, and it's probably more like, it's hiding as a plot twist villain, but the character is going to have a ton of personality and a ton of really crazy expressions. And at first I thought that's what they were doing, but then it just doesn't. And it's like, man, like, if you're going to do a plot twist villain that I can see coming a mile away, then at least do something funny with this villain, or do something like I don't know, but it's just not that impressive. And so, yeah, like I said, The Bad Guys is good. It's a good movie. There's obviously good lessons in there. And honestly, the movie ends in a way that I wasn't really kind of expecting. Where it's like, this is what's happening. And it's like, it's an interesting message. But really, but like I said, it does work. The film is good. I like it. But it's not as good as I was hoping it would be. I thought it was gonna be sort of like, again, like that next, like this year's Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or this year's Mitchell's vs. the Machines. It's not quite that. Like I said, I feel like it was a little bit too predictable at times, especially with the villain. And like I said, it wasn't as funny as it really could have been. There could have been some really incredible bangers in this one. Overall, it's like I said, it's a decent film. I raised the question to you. Man, I can't speak today. What did you think of The Bad Guys? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Click the like button.
Fuck, I can't say a thing in this video.
Click that like button because the YouTube algorithm gods fucking hate me. And click subscribe, which you can find right here. God, I suck.